The Sunday games from Week 1 of the NFL season are in the books, so let's run through pretty much every game and break down some winners and losers. That's life. People and teams lose. Get over it. Now, the emphasis here, for the most part, is on the players who emerged as winners and losers. We'll mention some overall teams as well. First up, Jalen Hurts. The Eagles' game plan was pretty much perfection. Attack the right side of the field, a ton of short passes. Hurts' average depth of target was under 4 yards. That's one of the lowest numbers you'll see in the entire year for the NFL. But it worked. Super effective. Had a great game. Was the Falcons' defense bad? Yes. But you know what? Hurts played great. That is a very positive sign for the Eagles moving forward. Credit goes to Hurts there. The defensive player of the week, bar none, no arguments whatsoever, Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones was so ticked off the Cardinals paid J.J. Watt instead of him that he went out and had 5 sacks. 5 of them in one game. That was 5x his production from last year. He was a bit banged up in this time. Still, 5 freaking sacks for Chandler Jones. The Titans had no answer for him. Didn't matter who was against him. Chandler Jones was incredible in this game. As an aside, by the way, I do want to mention Isaiah Simmons. He looked a hell of a lot better in year 2, week 1. And maybe you're right, Marshall. Maybe it's just the number change. Hey, look good, feel good, play good. I believe in that bigly. Speaking of looking good, Kyler Murray's visor look, always fire. Incredible. And he looked like the breakout year candidate finally. Everyone was talking about Murray last year. He didn't play well last season. He wasn't the guy that I think we all know he can be. But in week 1 against the Tennessee Titans, he sure as hell looked like it. Multiple just ridiculous throws, off balance, deep downfield, making the arm strength look easy. Very impressed by Kyler Murray and the entire Arizona team in week 1. I was worried about Cliff Kingsbury. Now, I doubt they keep it up every single week, but if they do, and he's going to be just fine on the hot seat. I was very, very impressed by Murray, Jones, and frankly, the entire Cardinals team. So with the winners in mind here, who was the biggest NFL Week 1 winner? We'll focus positive here. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So we get the ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down, and get your votes in. Next up, Matthew Stafford. Now make no mistake, he benefited by multiple blown coverages, no matter what some ESPN talking heads say. When there's no one within 20 yards of you, that's the blown coverage, not getting looked off by the quarterback. Stafford made it look easy against the Bears. Van Jefferson, very impressive. 20 of 26, 321, and 3 scores. Why Chris Collinsworth spent so much time wondering if Stafford could do the rollout stuff, I'm not really sure, because Stafford is a good athlete. Like that's a known thing. Either way, great start for the McVay-Stafford era in week 1. There's been plenty of early MVP buzz here around like Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray. You can throw in Dak Prescott, Tom Brady. No Thursday night guys, unless because, well, Thursday night doesn't count for this point. So who do you think wins NFL MVP in 2021? Get your votes in for me right now in the comments section. I wanted to mention the Seahawks offense overall. They ran the ball efficiently, and even though the Colts dared Seattle to take the underneath stuff, the sideline stuff, the ground game stuff, a thing that they could not do very well last year, the new Shane Waldron offense was successful. The passing chart for Russell Wilson, by the way, is hilarious. Some screens, some sideline stuff, and some deep shots. Like it is a good play calling Madden style offense where easy stuff and bombs. I loved it. It's a gorgeous passing chart. It's on Next Gen Stats. It's hilarious to an extent. Seattle's offense looked great. If that continues, maybe Russ for MVP is actually back this time. That's it. Deebo Samuel with Brandon Ayuk missing in action. Deebo balled out. 9 catches, 189 yards, and a touchdown. He was impressive. So were the Niners for 3 quarters. Then it all kind of, fell apart. But still, I was impressed by Deebo Samuel. I've always liked him, even dating back to his college days. He is a fantastic fit in Kyle Shanahan's offense. You can also mention Elijah Mitchell here as well. Now, we just went through the NFC West because all 4 teams won. Pretty crazy when you think about it. So who will win the NFC West this year? Type SF for the 49ers. Type SEA for Seattle. LAR for the Rams. Or ARI for Arizona. Get your votes in for me right now. Another big-time winner, the New Orleans Saints, because my God, were they impressive in this one. 38-3 was the final. They just boat raced the Green Bay Packers. Everything that could have gone their way pretty much did. It was a very impressive performance by the Saints in this one. Well done by New Orleans. Now, if you guys want to bet on football, maybe you bet on the Saints and you won some big-time money. Maybe you bet on the Cowboys to cover. Maybe you bet on the Titans like I did. That was a bit of a disaster. But they got plenty of extra money for you guys. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code NFL Daily. When you put down $100, they're going to give you an extra $125 for free. It's a fantastic deal. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code NFL Daily. Let's talk some receivers now. Tyreek Hill went full Tyreek Hill. 11 for 197 and a touchdown. There is no more challenging receiver to cover, I think, in the NFL. He's so quick, so dynamic, can win short and vertically. He is a blast to watch on the field. Let's hit the rookie receivers now, kind of rapid fire here. Jamar Chase was repeatedly dragged. I remember Pro Football Talk saying he could be an XFL guy. That was a literal thing that was said. And he goes for 5 for 101 and a score. Now, the Vikings corners were garbage this week. Rashad Breeland and I think it was Chris Boyd too, lost all day. But 5 for 101 and a score in your NFL debut, that'll silence the haters pretty quickly. All right, Jalen Waddle. Pretty solid. 4 for 61 and a score. Again, a bit more of the dynamic playmaker than the Chase or Devonta Smith, but I liked what I saw from Waddle in week 1. Same with Devonta Smith. 6 for 71 and a score. That's right, folks. All 3 early first-round picks at receiver scored touchdowns. There was a reason why we thought so many of those guys were going to be successful NFL players. It's still early. Can't declare busts or not. But for the time being, it looks pretty damn good for those 3 youngers. Now, do you guys want winners and losers every single week? If you guys do, then subscribe. All right, we've got them coming out every single day. Videos, I should say. We can do winners and losers every week too, if that is something that you guys want. If that's the case, hit that big red button and subscribe right now. Let's talk losers, because there are losers in life. And we got to discuss Jacksonville, guys. Urban Meyer's game plan, the offensive philosophy, that wasn't it. Defensively, wasn't it. They had multiple drives that were doomed because the O-line couldn't get lined up properly. It was a disaster in week 1 for Jacksonville. Against, frankly, one of the easiest opponents they'll probably face all year. Big-time red flags with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. That team, I get it, they're not that good yet, but neither's Houston. That didn't look good for Urban Meyer. Trevor Lawrence was very much up and down. This is one of the worst games ever played, which, again, that makes some sense. It's NFL, different competition. I get it. Some big-time plays, too many drops he dealt with, but Lawrence did not look like the truth. And frankly, none of the rookie QBs did, those of them who actually started. So I'm not full-fledged panic mode on Lawrence, but I don't know about this Urban Meyer era, folks. I just got some concerns about it. So let's play over or under. 2 years. How long will Urban Meyer last as the Jags head coach? O for more than 2 years, or U for under that amount. How about the Broncos and the Giants? I know my producer, Marshall, agrees with me. Guess what, folks? The Giants' offense is bad. One of those touchdowns was late garbage time. That was a 27-7 game. Let's call it what it actually was here. The Broncos bullied the New York Giants. There's no way around it from that perspective. That was a very bad effort by New York. The thing that I always remember, you draft Kadarius Toney, right? I'm worried, Can Jason Garrett utilize him? As Marshall and I predicted, they used him twice on jet sweep plays. That's it. Hey, he's using him like Tavon Austin. I don't trust Jason Garrett, and I don't trust Daniel Jones either, although maybe it's not all of his fault. I have concerns, once again, about this Giants offense, even if Denver's defense is really good. We're talking losers now. So who was the biggest week 1 loser in the NFL? Again, I'm focused a bit more on players or overall team stuff, but get your votes in for me. Who was the biggest week 1 loser in the NFL? Let's hit the Packers, the flip side here from this perspective, because they did not show up. That was, frankly, a disastrous performance out of the Green Bay Packers. I don't know what was going on, but they had nothing going right. Aaron Rodgers, disaster. He looked terrible. It was not a good showing, full stop. I don't know if there were some chemistry issues, if they were unprepared. That's one of the worst games I've seen Rodgers play in a very long time. So I don't know what went down, but that's a red flag for me moving forward. Sticking to the NFC North now, I'm going to still chalk up Andy Dalton as a loser. I know it wasn't all his fault. His O-line's bad. 27 of 38 for 206. It's not good, guys. And I think it's very clear that Justin Fields needs to be the guy. He is more dynamic. There's so much more upside than there is with Andy Dalton. Like, I think that Fields has to be the guy right now for the Bears. But what do you guys think? Should the Bears, do they need to start Justin Fields? I say yes, but I want to hear from you guys. Type in Y for yes or type in N for no. Loser now is, unfortunately, Jeffrey Okudah. Did not play well. He was getting yelled at on the sidelines a lot. It was not a good performance out of Jeffrey Okudah. And then on top of that, torn Achilles. So you've got Jeffrey Okudah last year, banged up about half the time, didn't play well. Called half a game this year, didn't play well, out for the year now. That is a terrible start for young Jeffrey Okudah. Still time to change it, but the early results are about as bad as possible for what we thought Okudah was going to be in the NFL. Another loser here, that is Josh Allen. I'm not saying I'm out on Josh Allen at all. I'm not saying that. And it was a good defense he faced. But that was more on the lines of 2019, 2018 Josh Allen, not 2020 Josh Allen. 58.8% on 51 attempts for only 270 yards was not good play out of Josh Allen. That is a concern for that team moving forward.